Good evening, everyone, and welcome to coverage you can count on at 5:30. I'm Simone Doughton. Thank you so much for joining us today. Columbus YMCA joins forces with a jiu-jitsu studio to fight bullying among young people on spring break. Gracie Baja and the D.A. Turner YMCA partner to help students and parents spot bullying and try to prevent it. News Leader 9's Tyrone McCoy joins us with more on what organizers call the No Bullying campaign.
More than 70 Muskogee County students packed into the D.A. Turner YMCA gym, along with Gracie Baja at Columbus, to make the first move against bullying. Since 2010, Gracie Baja has been teaching students a three-step approach. Jiu-jitsu instructor Josh Bolin says will help counteract bullying.
To ignore. Tell an adult. If the bullying continues and you use your jiu-jitsu, you'll go, well, I told them.
Bolin stresses the importance of only using step 3 after you've exhausted steps 1 and 2. Bolin taught the three-step approach, then had jiu-jitsu students around the same age as campgoers show how to defend themselves if the bullying continues. Students I talked to say bullying does happen at their schools.
Bullying at our school, when something happens, mostly it's stopped. The kids will go and tell the teacher, and the teachers will handle it.
Child Care Director Jed Coach T. Tulia Sega says that's not always the case, and this strikes the core of youth development for students at the D.A. Turner YMCA.
Kids have some challenges that they go through, and developing their skills, kids need some direction and guidance, and the YMCA develops those programs in their character development.
Coach T says the biggest part of the challenge is dealing with adversity in school 8 hours a day. Third grader Alexa McCoy says this demonstration taught her how to deal with bullying responsibly.
When you get older, you're not gonna have people to tell you that you're gonna get in trouble or someone's gonna come up to you.
Now, the D.A. Turner YMCA tells me they plan to continue partnerships like the one with Gracie Baja to continue character development for their students. Gracie Baja will also be doing another bullying presentation on April 5th from noon to 3 p.m. at the Frank D. Chester Recreation Center.
Well, speaking of spring break, if you know anyone headed or down to Gulf Shores or down in Gulf Shores enjoying their spring break, it's 68 degrees. See some sunshine out there. A very nice day. I hope you have all enjoyed your spring break. If you stayed back here in the valley, temperatures are in the 80s right now. We've seen 80s for most of the week right now here in Columbus. We're at 81, 79 in Auburn, and 80 down in Dothan. So a very warm day. Nothing on Doppler 9 radar. A very quiet picture. No rain in the forecast for tonight or tomorrow, but we do have a few clouds that are moving in ahead of some rain that we are watching for your Friday. So big changes are in the forecast tonight, though. Very mild night. We'll see temperatures in the upper 60s. Tomorrow we'll start off lows in the mid to upper 50s. I'll have a full look at that 7-day forecast coming up in just a little bit. Simone?
All right, thank you so much. Elizabeth, nearly 3.5 years after the oaks at Toomer's Corner in Auburn were poisoned, construction has begun to redevelop the corner and enhance Sanford Park. News Leader 9's Annie Hubble spoke with university officials today about that project. She joins us live from our East Alabama newsroom. And Annie, it seems like construction could be a headache right now, but will be well worth the wait later, right?
That's absolutely right, Simone. Or as university officials put it, it will be a slight inconvenience for some great things to come. Phase 1 of the redevelopment of Toomer's Corner and Sanford Park began this morning with the installation of fencing around the perimeter of the work site and the closure of a number of sidewalks and crosswalks in the area. This is the first time we have seen movement at the corner since the trees came down last spring. The work today is in preparation for the tree stumps to be removed and the soil remediation process to start next week.
And it'll be a series of kind of soil sampling. We'll take some soil out, we'll go test it, make sure it's clean. If it's not, we'll dig further down. We'll keep testing until we make sure everything is there. And what that does is gives the trees that we'll put in next year a better chance of survival.
Now, phase 1 also includes the installation of new pavers, a circular seat wall, and the planting of new trees, which won't be installed until early next year. This work is expected to be completed prior to the start of the fall 2014 semester. Now coming up tonight on the news at 11, hear more about this much anticipated redevelopment plan and how commuters will be redirected at times during the course of this construction project. Reporting live in the East Alabama newsroom, Annie Hubble, WTVM News Leader 9.
All right, thank you so much, Annie, for that live report. A new law allowing the study of a byproduct of marijuana has been signed by the governor of Alabama. Senate Bill 174, also known as Carly's Law, gives the University of Alabama at Birmingham the opportunity to study CBD oil. The oil is used to treat seizure disorders like epilepsy. The law goes into effect June 1st and gives the university $1 million for the study. A massive mansion fire in Atlanta takes with it a piece of the capital city's history. Fire crews are still working on what's left of that blaze as onlookers reflect on what the loss of this valuable piece of the past will mean as investigators work to determine the cause of that fire. Reporter Darian Moore brings us up to date.
Overnight, firefighters continue to pour water on small flames coming from the ruins of a Buckhead mansion.
So it takes quite a bit of time to find all of those hidden fires and spot fires and make sure that it's completely extinguished before we leave the scene.
The massive fire started Tuesday evening on Habersham Road. News Chopper 2 captured the flames as it consumed the entire mansion. The house burned for hours, and the intensity of the fire kept crews from attacking the flames from the inside.
Had we done so, we would have been having a completely different conversation because of the collapse of the structure very early on in the fire.
Historically, this is a loss for the family who lived here and the city of Atlanta.
It's very sad, but it's a very historic house in Atlanta, which is a loss for preservation in Atlanta.
Others remember when it was purchased in the early 1900s.
My father came to Atlanta in 1928 to start Genuine Parts Company with Carlisle Fraser, whose house this was.
Firefighters expect to be done battling that fire today, at which time investigators will begin their work to determine what caused it. A Georgia couple takes on the responsibilities of owning more than 100 dogs while still opening their homes to unwanted pets. The Garcias train and rehabilitate dogs who may ordinarily have trouble getting adopted. Well, the family is retired, but that doesn't stop them from making sure these dogs go uncared for, preventing them from having to be put down.
You know, who else is going to step up and help them? So we've got the time, we've got the space, we have the resources, and we have the desire. And we were able to save 103.
Volunteers at the Noonan Coweta Humane Society appreciate the work the Garcias do for the pets. The Garcias say while it's tempting to take on more, they say the key is knowing their maximum capacity and not going above it, which is where they are now. A new study looks at the harm of getting an early mammogram. Find out the risk of trying to prevent breast cancer. That's coming up next.